सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। फोर्टीन्थ घटवद्विविधाकारं भिद्यमानं पुनः पुनः तद्भेदेन च जानाति स जानाति च नित्यशः शब्दमायावृतो नैव तमसा याति पुष्करे भिन्ने तमसि चैकत्वम् एक एवानुपश्यति। Okay, next also we'll read. We had read, no? Shabdaksharam param brahma tasmin kshine yadaksharam tadvidvanaksharam dhyayet yadichechantimatmanah. So 8 to 15 shloka, 6 mantras talked about the nature of Brahman, which is to be understood as Atma, and that alone makes the mind nirvishaya, free from the objects and the cause for the desire of objects. It was said, nirvishayam manaha muktye smritam. So the mind which is nirvishayam, free from the objects, is the means for moksha. And how to make the mind nirvishaya? We saw that there are some relative means, but the ultimate, the final solution is in knowing Atma to be Brahman. So that Brahman which is Atma was presented from 8 to 15. Now 16th shloka, 16 to 18. Again the presentation of, description of sadhana for knowing Brahma and the place of sadhana. And here it is said, Shabdaksharam param Brahma. This is a little different word. Generally we don't use so much Shabdaksharam. Aksharam, imperishable, which is in the form of Shabda. That is one meaning. Other meaning is Akshara means the letter. Letter Om, which is Shabda, which is a sound. So final meaning is sound Om. Shabda means sound, Akshara means this letter and specifically Om. So Om is called Akshara, a monosyllable word which is a sound. And by using the word Shabda, what is suggested is, in Shastra, whenever Omkara Upasana is talked about, or Omkara based explanation is talked about, there Omkara we are taking as a sound. When Omkara is used as a symbol for Paramatma, that is not written Omkara. Generally people, they say we meditate on Omkara. Means what? They will keep one Omkara picture with golden something frame and there's light behind, and they will look at Omkara and they say we are meditating on Omkara. So what they do, they try to bring that Om in their inner sight. They try to visualize Om. Traditionally, that is not called Omkara Dhyanam. The written Omkara is not the symbol of Paramatma. Sound Omkara is the sound of Paramatma, is the symbol of Paramatma. So, sound. On the sound Om, one meditates upon Brahma. So that Shabdaksharam means sound Om is Param Brahma, is the limitless Brahma. And sound Om is limitless Brahma means sound Om symbolizes Param Brahma. Generally we do that. This Shiva Linga itself is called Shiva. We say, I am worshipping what? Lord Shiva. What is there in front of you is Shiva Linga. So Linga means symbol. And so symbol and symbolized are considered to be one. They are referred to as one. Therefore here it is said, Shabdaksharam Param Brahma. Sound Om is limitless Brahma. Means sound Om is the symbol of Param Brahma. Sound Om symbolizes Param Brahma, limitless Brahma. And Tasmin Kshine, when this Shabdakshara, sound Om, is resolved, then Aksharam we have to supply Sphurati. Then the imperishable, limitless Brahman is revealed. Of course, with the study of Shastra. So we have seen that Omkara has got two dimensions. One is sound dimension, other is silence dimension. Sound dimension is consisting of three letters, A, U, Ma. And other dimension is silence. So when Tasmin means sound dimension of Omkara or Omkara with sound dimension, Kshine, when resolved. When you say Om. So when the sound Om is resolved, what remains? Silence. And by that silence, what is revealed is Aksharam, imperishable reality. Yat, the reality which is revealed, Tad Vidwan, knower of that Akshara which is revealed by the silence dimension, Shanti, Amatra of Omkara, that is the meaning of Tad Vidwan. The knower of imperishable reality which is revealed by silence of Omkara. That is the meaning of Tat. Vidwan means knower. Means one who has understood the connection between the silence and Param Brahma, Aksharam. Param Brahma is otherwise called Aksharam. That when sound is resolved, what remains is Shanti, which indicates Chaitanyam, and that Chaitanyam is Brahma. In this manner, one who knows is called Tad Vidwan. And that knower of that Akshara Brahma revealed by silence of Omkara, Aksharam Dhyayet, should meditate upon limitless Brahma. And here commentator says, Aham Asmi iti Dhyayet. One should meditate as that Brahman I am. That Brahman which is revealed by the silence of Omkara, that Brahman I am. Iti Dhyayet. So with the help of Omkara, the silence dimension of Omkara, one meditate upon Param Brahma called Akshara as oneself. That is the meaning of what? Tad Vidwan Aksharam Dhyayet. And the result of this dhyanam is moksha. And moksha is presented in various ways. One way of presenting moksha is shantihi. Shantim nirvana paramam. So this shanti which has got its culmination in nirvana, moksha. That nirvana rupa shanti, moksha rupa shanti is the result of this dhyanam. And that idea is conveyed in a slightly different manner. He says, the knower of that Aksharam revealed by the silence of Omkara should meditate on this Brahman as oneself if he wants Shantihi. That is what he said, Yadi Ichet Shantim. If he desires, Ichet means if he would desire Shantim, Atmanaha. Atmanaha can be taken as of the self, Shanti which is the Swarupa of Atma. Or Atmanaha can be taken as a reflexive pronoun. If he wants Shanti for oneself. So if a person wants Shanti, abiding Shanti, not the peace of peace, but peace, abiding peace, then he should meditate upon this Param Brahma with the help of Omkara. Yadi Shantim Atmanah Shantim Ichet, Tarhi Tad Vidwan Aksharam Dhyaye. That is how the connection is. If one desires the Shanti of Atma or Shanti for oneself, then he should meditate upon Brahman as oneself with the help of Omkara. So Omkara Dhyanam will lead to the Atma Jnana Nishtha, which will give Parama Shantihi, which is otherwise called Moksha. Alright. Now, in the next sloka, next mantra, this idea of sadhana is further explained. And this Omkara is presented as the representative of the entire Shastra. And with the help of Omkara, the Shastra, one will finally attain this Parabrahma Jnanam, Parabrahma Nishtha. That idea is given in the next mantra. Dve vidye veditavye tu Shabda Brahma Paranchayat Shabda Brahmani Nishnataha Param Brahmadi Gacchati. He says, Dve Vidye Veditavye. Two disciplines. Dve means two. Vidya means disciplines of knowledge. Veditavye should be studied, should be acquired. Tu indeed. Avadharanarthaha tu shabdaha. Indeed, if one wants moksha, finally, then one should study this twofold discipline of knowledge. What are they? Shabda Brahma Param cha Yat. Here, this twofold vidya, twofold disciplines of knowledge are presented in terms of their content. Because one vidya differs from other vidya based on what? Based on content. Physics is different from chemistry. Why? Because physics discusses the physical objects. Chemistry discusses chemical objects. Physics discusses the physical phenomena and chemistry discusses chemical phenomena. Therefore, vidya, the discipline of knowledge, differs from each other based on what? Based on the content only. And therefore, the division of vidya is presented in terms of content. So that's all these things we have to supply. Because after saying De Vidya Veditavye, we expect what? Brahma Vidya or Saguna Vidya, Dirguna Vidya. Like that description should be there. But Shruti doesn't do that. What Shruti says? Shabda Brahma Paramcha Yat. So we have to supply the content of those two vidya are Shabda Brahma. Shabda Brahma means Brahman in the form of Shabda, words, and Paramcha Yat, and limitless Brahma. So twofold vidya, twofold disciplines of knowledge are to be studied, the content of which is Shabda Brahma, Brahma in the form of words, and limitless Brahma. And this idea is given in a similar manner in Mundakopanishad. Dve vidye veditavye. Then in between parachaiva paracha. So two vidyas are there, paravidya, aparavidya. And what is the paravidya, what is aparavidya? Upanishad itself explains. Tatra para Rigvedaha, Yajurvedaha, Samavedaha, Atharvavedaha, Shiksha, Kalpa, Vyakarana, Niruktam, Chando, Jyotishamiti. This is apara vidya. Apara means lower. And para means higher. What is para vidya? Atha para yaya tadaksharam adhigamyate. What is para vidya? It is that vidya by which imperishable Brahman is owned up, attained, owned up. So what we generally call Nirguna Brahma Vidya is called Paravidya. And anything other than that is Aparavidya. And in that description given is what? All four Vedas. All four Vedas means words of Veda. That is what is called here Shabda Brahma. So Shabda Brahma conveys this all four Vedas and also Vedanga. Four Vedas, all of you know, this Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Sama Veda, Atharva Veda. These four Vedas are covered by the word Shabda Brahma, which is called Apara Vidya there. And other one is Vedanga, Siksha. Shiksha means phonetics, the discipline of knowledge dealing with the chanting of Vedas, because chanting involves so many rules. There is a swaras, udatta, anudatta, swarita, and in the speed also manda, madhyama, tivra, so many rules are there. For chanting, so many rules are there. So that particular discipline of knowledge dealing with chanting is called Siksha. Then Kalpa. Kalpa means the discipline of knowledge dealing with the procedures of rituals, the details regarding rituals. Because all the details will not be given in Vedas. Certain things are to be derived, and those details are given in Kalpa, the discipline of knowledge dealing with the rituals. Siksha, Kalpa, Vyakaranam, grammar. Generally, we have Paniniya Vyakaranam. One great Rishi, Panini, he composed one text called Ashtadhyayi, and that is referred to here as the Vyakaranam. It can be other Vyakarana also, but what we have now is Paniniya. Otherwise, there were some 9 Vyakaranas, Chandra, Indra, etc. So many, but one Vyakarana also we are not able to study. So in Sandhi, one person said, I have studied Sandhi 2-3 times. Same chapter, he starts, goes up to Sandhi, and then stops. Again, when he goes to the next teacher, he has forgotten what he has studied again. Anyway, so Paniniya Vyakaranam. Shabda Sadhutva Shastram. The scripture or the discipline of knowledge dealing with the appropriateness, the pure form, correct form of words. What should be used? For Rama, Chaturthi will be Ramaya, Ramaya Namaha. For Vishnu, it is not Vishnaya, it should be Vishnave. So that difference. So Maruti, it is not Marute. Then you want to say 7th, it will be Maruti, we have to say. The difference. So Shabda Sadhutva Shastra, Vyakaranam. Some people say, Swamiji, Vyakaranam, Kya Karanam? So some people have allergy to Vyakaranam. Whenever Vyakarana class comes, the stomach ache happens, headache happens, something happens. Anyway, but it is useful. Yeah. All right. So you people are lucky. You don't have to study Vyakaranam. Still you can study Vedanta. Those who attend the course, they have to study Vyakaranam also. So I have to tell that also. In advertisement there, no, conditions apply. So, so that also we have to say. All right. So Vyakaranam. So Shiksha, Kalpa, Vyakarana, Niruptam. Etymology of Vedic words. Rudraha. Rodayati sarvan iti Rudraha. And that one who removes the dukkha is Rudraha. Like that we have got this Vyutpatti, derivation of the words, especially Vedic words. And that discipline of knowledge dealing with the derivation of Vedic words, that is called Niruptam. Yaska Muni has written. Shiksha, we have Paniniya Shiksha also, Vyakaranam also Panini. Kalpa, there are different Sutrakaras will be there, Apastamba, etc. Then Nirupta Yaska. Then Chandaha. Chandaha means, in English we say prosody. That is a discipline of knowledge dealing with the structure of the mantras. Like Dharma Kshetre, Kurukshetre, Samaveta, Yuyutsavaha. So there 32 letters are there and 4 quarters are there. Each quarter will have 8 letters. And in that 6 letters should be big. Guru. Shloke Shashto Guru Gneyaha. Sarvatra Lagu Panchamam. 5th letter should be short. Dvishchatuspadayo Rasvam. The 2nd and 4th quarter it should be short. Dvishchatuspadayo Rasvam Saptamam Dirgha Manyayoho. And the 7th letter in other, the 2nd and 4th, it should be Dirgha. Sorry, 1st and 3rd, it should be Dirgha. So that type of the structure, the rules are there. That type, I am told you very simplest one. And there are so many Sragdhara, Chanda, Prithvi Chanda is there, Upabraja is there, so many Trishtup Chanda is there. There are different rules. To study that you require a few years to master that. So that is called Chanda Shastra. And the last one is Jyotisham. Jyotisham means the discipline of knowledge dealing with luminaries. Jyotihi means luminary. Jyotisham, that which is Jyotishaha idam Jyotisham, that which is dealing with the luminaries, planets, stars, they are called, all of them are called Jyotihi. And the discipline of knowledge dealing with that, based on which we have got Amavasya, Purnima, Prathama, Dvitiya, Tritiya, etc. That discipline of knowledge is called Jyotisham. But generally, nowadays if you say Jyotisham, people will understand what? Astrology only. But it is not astrology only, it is astronomy and astrology. All right. So all these 6 are also come under what? Apara Vidya. And additionally, there Apara Vidya, that only. This Veda, 4 Vedas and 6 Vedangas. They are called Apara Vidya. Here, under Shabda Brahma, Vedas, Vedanga and Omkara or Omkara Dhyanam is called here Shabda Brahma. So Vedas, Vedanga and Omkara or Omkara Dhyanam, all of them are called here Shabda Brahma. And Param Chayat, limitless Brahman. Now, what is the connection between Shabda Brahma and Parabrahma? That is said in the next sentence. Shabda Brahmani Nishnataha. A person who is expert in Shabda Brahma means in Vedas, Vedanga and Omkara. One who has understood all the dimensions of Omkara, how it becomes the alambana for Apara Brahma, Saguna Brahma, how it becomes the support for the appreciation of Nirguna Brahma, that person is called Shabda Brahmani Nishnataha. Expert in Brahman, which is in the form of words, words of Vedas, words of Vedanga and Omkara. That person is called Shabda Brahmani Nishnata. So Shabda Brahma conveys 3 things: Vedas, Vedanga and Omkara with all dimensions. So that person who is Shabda Brahmani Nishnataha. What do we mean by Nishnataha? A person who has studied Vedanga necessary Vedangas, Vyakarana, Kalpa, etc. he has studied, and he has studied Vedas, in fact first Vedas. He has done Veda Adhyayanam, went to Gurukulam and studied the words of Vedas, then studied Vedanga, and he got this primary meaning of all the words of Vedas he has studied, and then he has used Omkara for Dhyanam. That person is called Shabda Brahmani Nishnataha. And that person Param Brahma Adhigacchati. He attains Param Brahma, limitless Brahma as oneself. So what is the connection between Shabda Brahma and Param Brahma? Shabda Brahma is the sadhanam, Param Brahma is sadhyam. The one is the means, other is the goal or the destination. Of course in figurative sense. Param Brahma Adhigacchati. Now, how long one should continue to study Shastra? Swamiji, I want to study all the Upanishads, 108 Upanishads. I want to study all Prakarana Granthas. I want to study all commentaries on Brahma Sutras. I tell you, Brahma Sutras has got several commentaries. One I will give you. So on Brahma Sutra, we have got one commentary called Panchapadika. And on Panchapadika, there is a Vivarana. On Vivarana, again there is a Pradipa, Vivarana Pradipa, Vivarana Deepanam or something. And to explain this Vivarana, etc., in a simple way, we have got one tika called Ratta Prabha. Other is the Nyaya Nirnaya. This is one side. Other is a commentary is Bhamati. On Bhamati, there is a Kalpataru. On Kalpataru, there is a Kalpataru Parimala. On Kalpataru Parimala, there is a Abhoga. Another commentary also is that Tilaka. So many commentaries on Brahma Sutras. And so somebody may think, Swamiji, I want to study. How long should we study? For that, the answer is given in the next mantra. Grantham abhyasya medhavi. Okay. Grantham abhyasya medhavi. Jnana vijnana tatparaha. पलालमि पलालमिव धान्यार्थी त्यजेद् ग्रन्थमशेषतः। So, this mantra is answering a possible doubt. Brahmadigamepi tadhetu granthabhyasaha kartavyah. So, even after knowing Brahman as oneself, still this granthabhyasaha, study of the Shastra, which is the means for Brahma Jnanam, should be done. How can I give up my Shastra? This Shastra only brought me to this Brahma Jnanam. How can I give up? And I want to study full, all Shastras I want to study. So, what is it a right approach or not? Somebody may think, no, one should continue studying. And somebody said, no, one should not study. So, doubt may happen. To answer that doubt, here this mantra is there. Mantra says, a seeker who is medhavi, intelligent, means he leads rational life, the life based on reasoning, not mere feelings. Feelings are not to be ignored, but feelings should not overpower my reasoning. Feelings should be considered. Emotions should be there. In fact, that makes you a human being. Therefore, emotions are welcome. But emotions overpowering my reasoning becomes a problem. For a sadhaka, especially bigger problem. For a person who wants to be in samsara, because of this approach, he remains in samsara, he doesn't mind being in samsara, okay. But a sadhaka who wants to be free from samsara, for him this approach, that buddhi, driver, is overpowered by emotions, the rain. You imagine, the steering wheel is controlling the driver. Imagine, steering wheel make a sound, go right, the driver has to do right, go left, left. That is, then car will not go to proper direction. So, steering wheel should be controlled by the driver. Driver should not be controlled by the steering wheel. It is something like, I have seen this. A lady in the morning takes a dog for a walk. Now you can imagine. And this dog is very hefty dog. The lady is very thin. So we wonder whether dog is taking the lady for a walk or lady is taking the dog. That's what happens. So here we say medhavi, one who is intelligent. That is one dimension of medhavi word. Medhavi means, other meaning is one who is capable of grasping the vision of Shastra. Medhavi. And jnana vijnana tatparaha. Tatparaha means committed. Committed to what? Jnanam and vijnanam. This jnanam and vijnanam, these two words sometimes used interchangeably. But when they are used together, sometimes they translate jnanam as indirect knowledge, vijnanam as direct knowledge. Or sometimes to have little bit fancy, little translation. Jnanam they say knowledge and vijnanam wisdom. So all right. So the person who is committed to knowledge and wisdom, very fancy translation. Simple one is direct knowledge and indirect knowledge. Person who is committed to have first indirect knowledge and then direct knowledge. Jnanam, vijnana, The direct knowledge, jnanam, indirect, Volta. Jnanam is indirect knowledge and Vijnanam is direct knowledge. I am sorry. Aparoksha jnanam means the paroksha jnanam, Vijnanam means aparoksha jnanam. So jnanam means indirect knowledge and Vijnanam is direct knowledge. I interchange it. Okay. Means I will explain what is jnanam and Vijnanam, so it will be clear, even if some confusion has come. When a person understands based on the Shastra, Brahma Asti, there is something called Brahma. And that Brahman is Jagat Karanam. So Jagat Karanam Brahma Asti. The Brahman, which is the cause of this world, is there. That knowledge is called Jnanam. It is called indirect knowledge. Why indirect? Because we are saying there is some Brahman. I have not seen. Shastra says there is something called Brahma. This is called Jnanam, otherwise called Paroksha Jnanam, indirect knowledge. And when I know Brahman as myself, I am Brahma, then it is called Vijnanam, Aparoksha Jnanam. So Brahma Asti, Jagat Karanam Brahma Asti, that knowledge is called Jnanam, and Jagat Karana Brahma Aham Asmi, that is called Vijnanam. In 7th chapter also, Jnana Vijnana Sahitam, Bhagavan says. Alright. So here, person is committed to Jnanam first. First he wants to know what is Brahman. And then he wants to know that Brahman as oneself very intimately. And that will be called Vijnanam. So a Medhavi, an intelligent person who is committed to this indirect knowledge called Jnanam, direct knowledge called Vijnanam, that person, Grantham Abhyasya. Abhyasya means having studied. Grantham, here Grantham refers to all Vedanta. All Vedanta and necessary Vedangas. So having studied the text of Vyakarana, etc., and also Vedanta, Tyajet. Tyajet means he should outgrow. Tyajet literally means give up, outgrow. What? Grantham, all the text, Asheshataha, completely. So having studied the Shastra well and having gained what is to be gained from the Shastra, so he has now got the vision of Vedanta. Vedanta says, all that is here is Brahma, that Brahman I am. That I have understood from Shastra. And all doubts are also removed. Now, what is required is a person should contemplate upon that. So now, he need not study further more texts, he need not study. He can do Nididhyasanam. So he should not be obsessed with the idea of studying more and more Shastra for the heck of it. So it is said, Asheshataha Grantham Tyajet. Like what? Dhanyarthi Palalam Iva. Dhanyarthi, Dhanyam is grains. Any grain like rice, etc., rice, wheat, it is called Dhanyam. So rice, in fact, one meaning of Dhanya is rice itself. So the person who is desirous of rice grain, Palalam, Palalam is husk. Iva, like the person desirous, arthi, person desirous of rice, Tyajet, would give up, would leave aside what? Palalam, husk. Just as the person desirous of rice would give up this husk He will not carry that also. He will remove that and then bring this rice. So palalima iva dhanyarthi. When he is cooking, he at least that time at least he has to dehusk. So just as the desirous of rice, a person desirous of rice, how we will give up the husk? Similarly, a person who has studied Shastra well and he has gained what is to be gained by the study of Shastra, then asheshatah tyajet. We should give up. Here, insistence is not on giving up the study of Shastra. For some people, even the study of more Shastra can become nididhyasana, can become contemplation. Because of some weakness, they cannot sit for a long time in meditation. But if they study Shastra, then they can remain with the subject matter, which is Brahman, which is myself. So for some people who cannot do Samadhi Abhyasa Rupa Nididhyasanam, for them it is okay. But general default setting is that up to a point of time you study and then you outgrow. Then you don't require study. The whole vision is there with you, you remain with that vision. And keep on dwelling upon that. That is to be done. You let go of your, craving for studying more and more Shastra. Because all the Shastras have finally got same vision. And some people have got this particular vasana. It is called Shastra vasana. In Shastra they talk about 3 types of vasana. In Jivan Mukti Viveka they talk about 3. One is called Loka vasana, other is Shastra vasana, other is Deha vasana. 3 vasanas. First let me tell about other 2, then Shastra vasana will come to. One is Loka vasana. Loka vasana means let everybody praise me. May everybody like me. Everybody, if you ask, everybody should tell, I am very good. Anybody you ask, everybody should give good opinion about me. Nobody should talk against me. People have got so much anxiety about that. If somebody comments little bit, so much disturbed. How can he say like this? How can he go and clarification, all this? So that is Loka vasana. May I become very famous as a good person in the entire world. That is Loka vasana. Another meaning of Loka vasana also is that desire for going to different lokas. But generally we Loka vasana, we interpret in this manner, desire to become famous as a good person. I want to be in good list of everybody. People should tell that you are a very good person. Nobody should tell you are not. And so you have to work very hard for that. To please people is not that easy. You have to give them gift. You have to talk to them when they need. Night 11 o'clock also you are feeling sleepy, still you have to talk. Why? Because if I don't talk, they will not like me. They will say I am selfish. They will tell everybody. My name will be spoiled. So even you are feeling very sleepy, you somehow, preach or whatever you do, keep yourself awake and talk. That is Loka vasana. And in Mandukya Karika, this Loka iti Loka vidaha, there, the commentator says, nobody can achieve this. Is there anybody in this hall who can say, Swamiji, everybody talks good only about me? Is there anybody? I would like to do Sashtang Namaskara to that person. Swamiji, nobody I have ever heard that they talk against me. I have never heard. Directly, indirectly, I have never heard that anybody talks against me. Is there anybody here? Is there? Because I am not that. So I would, if that person has achieved, this is a wonderful thing. I used to feel, oh, this person, everybody talks good about. But then I hear about that person also, people talk against him. Even Bhagavan, why to talk about human being? Bhagavan Krishna, when he came, Shishupala used to do this Archana, Ashtotara. You are like this, all abusive words. Rama, so many were there. There were people against Rama also. And therefore, this Loka Vasana, we have to see that there is no point in that. It is a futile effort. Our approach is not to displease people. In fact, we should be mindful about the feelings of others. That is sensitivity. But our mindful is not to be in their good list. Our mindfulness is coming out of our value for ahimsa. I do not want to hurt anyone, therefore I will be mindful about the feelings of others. I will not do something which they don't like. And I keep doing what is to be done. I keep avoiding what can harm the totality. That is the right approach. Whether people like me or not, I will do what is appropriate, and I will see to it that I am not hurting anybody's feeling deliberately. Inadvertently, I cannot help all the time. There also I will try to be careful. That, oh, if I say like this, some people will be hurt. So we try. Like I made comment, and then next day, in the evening, I said it is not correct. Correct you, sir. So, you do what is to be done, what is right, but don't have this agenda that everybody should praise me. Once upon a time had this value, because somewhere I read, and that quotation was not a very empowering quotation, but it impressed me that the Lord has come in the form of the world. Therefore, if world is happy with you, the Lord is happy with you. If world is unhappy with you, Lord is unhappy with you. So I said, my God, I have to keep everybody happy, but I want to keep the Lord happy. It has got some message to convey, but I took it in a little bit distorted manner and started trying to please everybody. Miserably failed. You cannot do. So, Loka Vasana, especially sadhaka, who wants to commit himself to Nididhyasanam, especially Nididhyasanam, he has to drop. Otherwise, he cannot do Nididhyasanam. If you want to keep everybody happy, you cannot even sit for Nididhyasanam. People say, why are you sitting for meditation? Useless activity, talk to me. I am there in front of you and you are closing your eyes. Therefore, you cannot. So, that is Loka Vasana. But this another thing here, side note is, some recognition from some people around is psychologically necessary. Therefore, for some time, if you have to make some effort to get some recognition, it is useful. But make it as a temporary measure. Just to get out of this feeling that I am useless, nobody likes me, you have some good interaction with some people. Do some service to people, so you will get good feeling. People will say, you are good, you will feel good. So, as a very provisional measure for people who have got very low self-esteem, this some social service, etc., involving this appreciation of people is useful. But those who don't have that problem, they need not do. It's a distraction. All right, that's all the side notes, but useful notes. Okay. Then next one is Deha Vasana. Shastra Vasana, but afterwards I will take that Shastra. Deha Vasana. Deha Vasana means being too conscious about the look of the body, weight of the body, height of the body, and trying to look as impressive as possible. You know, some people, especially actors and all, they don't come out of their bedroom without makeup. Some makeup they have to have. They sometimes give the picture, this actor without makeup is a big thing. Too conscious. Because without makeup they look very old. They are, in the movie they will be looking like 30, 35. They try to look. They play the role of that 35-year-old or 25-year-old student. He is already 50. So people should not know how conscious they are. That skin also is, so many wrinkles are there. So there is some, I think, makeup, foundation they have to do. Foundation, that superstructure. How conscious? People should not know this. That is called Deha Vasana. The Vasana, the desire for looking very impressive, attractive. That is called Deha Vasana. But this does not mean I should positively look disgusting. No. People go away, I wear very old and smelling clothes. So people, like, some vehicle come, no, people give way. So similarly, this person, people give way. That should not be there. Which is Swamiji used to say, some sincere sadhakas, moment they come from distance, I know, because they will be smelling. Because some sincere sadhaka has a value. I should not use soap. Even this, everybody need not. But soap or soap equivalently use so that, not for your sake at least, for others' sake. So we need not have the value to look repulsive. No, I am a sadhaka. I don't want to look, I don't want anybody to look at me. So I make myself very repulsive. That is not correct. But there is no positive attempt to look attractive. That is called being relatively free from Deha Vasana. Then comes Shastra Vasana. Shastra Vasana is in Jivan Mukti Viveka, very elaborate is there. But we will take only one part of it, simple. That I want to study more and more Shastra. For years together, even my eyes are not functioning, somehow we manage. And if I have not studied one particular text, I feel so incomplete. I have not studied this, I have not studied this. I have not studied the Kalpataru of this Brahma Sutra. Hey, many people don't even know there is a Kalpataru commentary on Bhamati, on Bhashyam, on Brahma Sutra. But this, people have got some craze. And especially when your fellow student whom you know, he has studied or she has studied and you have not studied. That is the base, what is called the motivating factor, which is not a good motivating factor. Others have studied, therefore I should study. That's correct. I need to study because that text gives some clarity where I have doubts. If I come to know that the doubt, a lingering doubt I am having is solved here, I heard that it deals with that topic, I would like to study that. So our study should be purpose based. After studying some 6-7 Upanishads, and if possible with commentary, and Bhagavad Gita with commentary and all, Brahma Sutra, Chatusutri you have done. If you have done some basic study, afterwards extra study should be need based. Not for the heck of it or for the ornamentation of ego. Therefore, and if you have that desire for the heck of it, then it is called Shastra Vasana. This craving for studying more and more Shastra just for studying without, and especially for ornamentation of my ego. So that Shastra Vasana should not be there. It can become an obstacle. And therefore it is said, Tyajed Granthama Sheshataha. Now, in the next shloka, 19 and 20, so 16 to 18 was presenting the means for attaining Parabrahma and the place of the sadhana. How long one should study? Till one gets this jnanam with this samshaya nivritti purvaka jnanam one has, then that is enough. And even after one studies, it should be only from the standpoint of nididhyasanam. Once you are studying for nididhyasanam, you need not go into the grammatical derivation, etc. So otherwise it will be a side track. When you study After this, you have got this conviction about the vision, still you study. But then your study will be different. Your study will be more for remaining with the vision. Then afterwards, see which derivation, what pratyaya is added, which sutra is applied, what is the other way of derivation, that your mind will not go, should not go. So, purpose-based study, in fact, purpose-based acceptance of all sadhanas. If you are following Karma Yoga and the Karma Yoga has served the purpose, but no, Swamiji, I am well known as a Karma Yogi in my circle, so I continue. That's not correct. I am well known as a Upasaka, Swamiji, so I think I will continue this. Sometimes we love the title. So for the title's sake we do things. That we drop, that type of tendency, that type of approach we drop. Do it as required. Now in the next sloka 19 and 20, this oneness of Atma is highlighted. Those details we'll see in the next class. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha.